Your worst nightmare. Open it up. Either you come out or we coming in. I'm gonna get you. Open the door. Who is this? Open up the door. Holy, make her way inside. Open up the door.
Who is it?
Open up the door before we make her way inside. Then we will make our way inside in this house. From the back or the front, it don't matter how it takes. Open the door! Open the door! I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna be back.
You out there? Hold on, it's me walking around. I'm walking around. Don't shoot, I'm walking around. Where they at? Wait, I'm not even paying. We about to see who it was. We're going to the back side. I ain't.
Call Allah Yahweh Shemi Al Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, that taught us this 100% truth, nothing but the truth. Salutations to the Akim on the four corners of this earth, teaching this truth, risking their lives each and every day on the highways and the byways. And to you brothers and sisters tuning in for edification, coming with another lesson, and this lesson is entitled, My People Are Destroyed for the Lack of Knowledge and Refuse to Hearken to this Truth. So you can see here in this video, you have these nigglets, what I call them, nigglets, you know what I'm saying, around dressing up, you know, in Halloween costumes, you know what I'm saying, knocking on people's doors and saying, if you don't open up the door, we gonna, you know, kick it down, you know what I'm saying, and threatening them to, you know, they're gonna kill them if they don't open up the door. So if you see here, man, this is why I say our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You know, why would you in your right, you know, in your right mind, well, they ain't in their right mind, you know what I'm saying, dress up in costumes, you know what I'm saying, and they look like those older kids, or I don't know, teenagers, or probably young, you know, but technically, you know, when you become a man, you 12 years old, so, you know, if anything happened to him, hey, and something happened bad to you, hey, you're a grown man, you know what I'm saying? But in this society, they treat him as, you know, a kid, a teenager, you know, dressing up, doing stupid stuff, you know? But who do they learn this from? They learn this from the so-called, self-proclaimed so-called white people, you know what I'm saying, that pushes this pagan day or pushes this Halloween crap on our people. And they especially do it with the kids, you know what I'm saying? They have it in the cartoons and everything. So This is crazy, you know what I'm saying? And what's so crazy is they don't even know what they celebrate, you know what I'm saying? They just, doing what everybody else do, you know what I'm saying? Instead of they, going to, research this, going to the internet and research it, you know what I'm saying? And see what is the origins of, Halloween. But these people are just bugged out, man. Just completely bugged out and don't care, you know what I'm saying? The Jake is just, man, the stuff Jake do is just stupid, stupid stuff. And that's why the Most High gotta get rid of these niggas. These nigglets, you know what I'm saying? 2/3 of these nigglets gotta go, man. And I'm speaking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Crazy, man. Madness, man. This is completely madness how our people, the stuff that they do, man. And let's look up that the origins of Halloween, you know what I'm saying? Let me look that up. What are they doing? Okay, so something's wrong. All right, let me change the font to English. It was on Hebrew. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Our people just refuse to hearken, you know what I'm saying, to this truth. And only the elected 1/3 is going to do that, you know what I'm saying? 2/3, they're just going to stay asleep, you know what I'm saying? Because they love it here. They love it. They love it here in Babylon, you know what I'm saying? They love it here in Babylon the Great, And that's what they love doing, They love doing evil and wicked stuff because they learned it from who, the self-proclaimed so-called white people, you know what I'm saying? Man, woman, and children, Let's look up the origins of Halloween. Better yet, let me go to GPT. GPT chat. I'll look it up on my phone. Got it right here. Okay, so the origins of Halloween. Okay, so the origins of Halloween can be traced back over 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Here's a breakdown of it: history and evolution. Celtic festival of Samhain was celebrated on the night of October 31st. Ancient Celtic region, now Ireland and UK and northern France. And look at here, it has the purpose. The purpose marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, a time associated with death and darkness. So this is something that is associated with death and darkness. And now our people has took on the ways of this, you know what I'm saying? Because they're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, man. And it says the Celtics beliefs. The Celtics believe the boundary between the living and the dead blurred on this night. Ghosts of dead return to earth, causing mischief or damage. Druids, Celtic priests made bonfires, wore costumes, animal heads and skins, and offer sacrifice to ward off spirits. See? So our people don't even know what they're celebrating. The main thing here is they'll say, well, we're doing it for the kids. We're celebrating for the kids. But all they got to do is go here and research it. But then you have grown people pushing this and teaching their kids this origin, this wicked origin of Halloween, man. You know? And that's what our people love doing, man. They don't care. All they care about is pushing wickedness. You know what I'm saying? They love to do evil. But you know what? Our people gonna realize that, you know, the things that they have done, they're gonna realize that they didn't put themselves in a bad predicament, you know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Shema Shai coming back, you know what I'm saying? And he's coming back to wreak havoc on you niggas, you know what I'm saying? And let's go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Yeah. And the reason why our people is destroyed is because they're missing the right ingredient, you know what I'm saying, in their life. You know what I'm saying? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. That's where they're lacking. That's where they bugged out. That's why it's all these single family households and it's only women raising these nigglets. You know what I'm saying? They're doing stupid stuff like this, you know? But they're cracking down on them now, you know what I'm saying? You know, Special T, he doing that. He cracking down on you niggas, you nigglets, you know what I'm saying? You know? Because it don't make any sense taking your kids, you know what I'm saying, and buying these wicked costumes, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you put these costumes on, all they putting is demon spirits on you, you know what I'm saying? And grown, like I said again, grown ASS people is like, they're basically, you know, putting on these costumes and going to work too, you know, dressing up like, you know, different stuff, you know, all kind of crazy crap anyway, you know what I'm saying? But they don't even know what they're celebrating, you know what I'm saying? You know? And Jake is just evil, man. And you seen it in this video. This evil as hell, man. You know? Because what they need to learn is these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? You know? And first and foremost, you know, Yahweh. You know? The Most High. He is. And Yahweh Shai. He is, he exists, he's our Savior. You know what I'm saying? You know, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? A Mashiach, you know? That's who they need to learn. They need to learn the Father and the Son, Yahweh Shem El Shai name, you know what I'm saying? And then who you are and who your people are. But nah, what they want to do is they want to learn this wicked stuff. Esau pushed out, you know, on the four corners of this earth, you know what I'm saying? Because what this truth will do, this truth will set you free, you know what I'm saying? John 8:32, it'll set you free, you know? It'll give you that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know what I'm saying? To grow, you know what I'm saying, in this truth. And then you won't be destroyed, you know what I'm saying? You know? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou should be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, and I will also forget thy children. Yeah, because one of the things people do is, you know, especially this truth is being pushed out the four corners of the earth, is they're rejecting the prophets. You know what I'm saying? And that's going on throughout the entire world. You know what I'm saying? So they can't say, nah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what you talking about. Yeah, because what they're doing is they're refusing to hearken to this truth. But you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to. You don't have to, you know, hearken to the truth. But that day is coming where you will be destroyed, you know what I'm saying? And when our people see the brothers out, you know what I'm saying, pushing this truth, what they do, they either, you know, stop up, you know, come with that Christianity crap religion, or they're either walking by scoffing, you know what I'm saying? Saying, look at them. They wearing dresses, you know, all they doing is lying. They ain't speaking the truth, you know what I'm saying? You know? And they say that because they basically, you know, the reason why they say that is because their pastor, or if it's a so-called white man, preaching, you know what I'm saying, then they'll take the time to listen, you know what I'm saying? But what our people love folly, you know what I'm saying? Let me get that. Our people love folly. That's what they love, especially the nigga woman. If you pushing anything that has to do with folly, they're going to be right there, you know what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6, folly is set in great dignity. Yeah, and this is what our people are about. Nothing but folly, you know what I'm saying? And you've seen it in this video, you know what I'm saying? These nigglets, you know what I'm saying, going and knocking on people's doors, pretending that they got these costumes on, pretending that they're going to do some bodily harm to somebody, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be somebody coming to do bodily harm to you. The self-proclaimed so-called white man, he already getting everything prepared. He going to put you nigglets to death, you know what I'm saying? And with that word folly, let's look up that word folly, you know what I'm saying? Because our people, that's what they love doing, you know what I'm saying? They love folly. Lack of good sense, foolishness. That's what that means, foolishness. And what do our people like? They like foolishness. If you ain't doing nothing that's, wicked or evil or stupid, something that's funny that you gotta laugh about, you know what I'm saying, then our people ain't a part of it. And that's how our people is, you know what I'm saying? But they got something coming, you know what I'm saying? They don't hearken to this truth. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 1, verse, let's do verse 5 and 6. Yeah. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Yeah. So a wise man is going to hear and increase learning. He's going to take heed to wise counsel. And who's giving that wise counseling? From the head apostles, you know what I'm saying? From Great Millstone, and the Akims on the four corners, pushing this truth, because reading is fundamental, you know what I'm saying? And that's what these nigglets don't do. And that goes for the 2/3, man. They don't know nothing about the Bible. They just want to hear a good, they just want to hear number love. That's the Most High God is number love. But they fail to realize, you know what I'm saying? That's what they don't do. They don't read, They don't read. They just take everything, from face value, especially what the pastors say, you know what I'm saying? And definitely what self-proclaimed so-called white man say. Yeah, because what's that scripture? Revelations 1 and 3. You get that. Blessed is he that read. Yeah, so our people lacking in, you know what I'm saying, reading books, You know how Jake is, He don't even read the book. He just look at the pictures. And then he closed the book, And that's just how our people are, And they that hear the word of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Yeah. Yeah, because the time is at hand. These prophecies are popping off the page. And most of our people, what they want to deal with, they want to deal with nothing but foolishness. You know what I'm saying? With that word folly, foolishness. Because they're already pushing the sea hip are already in Europe, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming here, you know what I'm saying, in Revelation 13 and 16, you know what I'm saying? That sea hip, And that's one major prophecy that's coming, you know what I'm saying? But these people, don't realize that, hey, you better stop being foolish. Foolishness, our people. Jeremiah, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 21. Hear Hear now, Slacker, hear now this old foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Yeah. Hear now this old foolish people, and without understanding. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And this is man, I'm gonna tell you this. This is nothing new, you know what I'm saying? Especially to the Most High. He already know how our people are. And without any understanding, yeah. And the reason why they don't have no understanding is because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't got nothing to do with folly, they don't care. That's why when you see these nigglets, you know what I'm saying, out here ringing people doorbells, you know, doing something that you know that's not right. You know what I'm saying? But our people have been destroyed for the lack of knowledge because they ain't teaching our people who we are in the schools or even in these churches. All they doing is just, you know, babysitting them at school or when they have them in these churches. All they doing is just giving them a good feel message and lying to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing, you know. But that's one thing our people do have. They have a zeal according to the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And what it says, which have eyes and see not. And our people have eyes but cannot see, you know what I'm saying? Because they are in darkness, you know what I'm saying? And this is a spiritual thing, you know? Which have ears and hear not. They have physical ears, but they don't have spiritual ears. That's why they doing stupid stuff like in that video, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I did a video train a kid, you know, not a kid, but train them up as they go, you know, paraphrasing. You know, and they won't depart, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know nothing about the truth. That's why they doing things like this in that video, you know? And that's what happens. It leads up to, you know, what Esau wants you to do. And what Esau do now? He put our people to death, you know what I'm saying? You know? And what happened? He don't hold himself guilty, you know, because of the stuff that he do, you know? And one thing Jake don't understand is to be wise when the police confronts them. They don't know that, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be wise. They're going to do something stupid, and that's when they're going to get gunned down, you know what I'm saying? And let's go to Zechariah 11 and 5. Because this is what our people, you know, from this video that you see, they're going to constantly keep going to people's doors, you know, doing this crap, and then something gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? These niggas gonna get put to death, or they're gonna get the police call them, and then the police gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how our people are. Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5: who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Yeah. And when Esau do wicked stuff to our people, they get off. You know what I'm saying? Jake don't understand that. You know. He don't understand that you're getting set up for the okie doke, man. You're falling for the trap. Because that's what Esau want to do. He want to put you to death, you know what I'm saying? And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. You know? And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Yeah. You know? Because Esau is doing this right now to this day, like I said again. He's slaving our people, making money off of them. And you see that, man, you see that 100. Through the NFL, through the NBA, through the NBL, you know, baseball. All they doing is using our people, man, making money off our people. They just high-priced slaves, you know what I'm saying? You know? So Esau know what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? And when I used foolishness, you know what I'm saying? Folly, foolishness. That's Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. Because that's what our people love doing. Our people love folly, you know what I'm saying? For my people, it's foolish. Yeah, for my people, it's foolish. They have not known me. Yeah, because our people don't know Yahweh Shem Shai. They don't know Big Brother Yahweh Shai. All they know is white means sweet baby Jesus. That's all they know. They don't know the true and living power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. What they know is about these false religions, which is pushed on our people, lying to our people, telling them lies that's not true, that's not lining up with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But our people don't want to hear the truth, and they don't want to accept the truth. They are silent children, and they have none understanding. Yeah. And whenever they had our people in captivity, in all the captivities they had us, what our people do? Our people cling to the other nations. They love practicing the other nations, customs. The heathens. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing today. They love following. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating, these pagan holidays, which is number folly. And you've seen that in this video. Halloween is a pagan, evil, wicked custom that our people don't supposed to be celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Now, these other nations can celebrate, but we supposed to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And they are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Yeah. And you see these little nigglets, you know what I'm saying? They're looking to do evil. They wise to do evil. You know what I'm saying? Not to do good. They don't have no knowledge of doing good, because they following what the self-proclaimed so-called white man say do. And they start you at an early age, man. That's why they know what they doing. They start you at an early age. They push this on these little kids at an early age, in cartoons and all kind of situations, because they have messed our people up. They mentally destroyed our people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say my people is destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And you've seen that in this video that I showed in the beginning. So since our people don't want to hearken to this truth and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, then they're going to be destroyed right along with the heathens. You know what I'm saying? Right along with these other nations. Like the scriptures say, don't join hand in hand. The wicked one will not be unpunished. So since you nigglets want to keep on doing and doing, what y'all was doing in this video, and you got other 2/3 of our people, you know what I'm saying, two-thirds of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, doing other wicked stuff, because you have been destroyed, then you're going to get put to death too. So I want to, end it here. You know what I'm saying? I want to give call all Yahweh Shemi Al Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, that taught us this truth, 100% truth. Salutations to the Akim on the four corners, risking their lives each and every day on the highways and the byways. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification. Hope this was edifying. This is your brother Dawadah. Come on, another lesson. Shalom.